gang, Miss Baskin here, and welcome back. So, I'm sure you've heard people talk about feelings and emotions before. You know, happy, sad, mad, scared, surprised, and excited. Recognizing our feelings and self-regulating our emotions means knowing ourselves inside and out. That's a subject that takes years to master. Believe me, I'm still trying to figure it out, and so are your teachers. Wink, wink. That's because these emotions are an important part of what makes us human. So knowing how to recognize and respond to them can be super helpful in life. And that gig, well, it can get a little tricky at times. In the coming lessons, I'm going to give you the real feel deal about our emotions and some tips on how best to handle them. So, let's get started. Ever heard your teachers or parents tell you that life isn't fair sometimes? Yeah, I wasn't crazy about hearing that truth either, but reality is, they're right. Sometimes life just plain stinks, and there's not much we can do about it. But while we can't always control these things from happening, we can control how we manage them. Learning to cope with those big and little challenges can actually help us to keep them from getting bigger and saves us from a lot of extra heartache. In order to know how to manage our emotions, we'll need to first understand how to judge the size of the problems and match it to an appropriate reaction. Let me show you what I mean.
See this blue circle? This represents our small glitch problems in life. These are the ones that only affect us and are usually ones we can solve on our own, such as forgetting our lunch, losing our favorite sweatshirt, or having to sit next to someone in class we don't like. In these situations, we're expected to have a small reaction to these glitch problems and basically just roll with it, handle it, or let it go. See this yellow circle? This represents those medium-sized problems in life. These are the ones that usually affect more than you and require some help from an adult, like losing or breaking something really expensive, a pet getting lost, or handling a situation where you've been mistreated. And see this red circle? This represents those big, huge problems in life. These problems might involve someone getting badly hurt, extremely ill, or dying. There are things like divorce, losing a job, or a natural disaster like a hurricane or tornado. In these situations, the adults around us are typically in charge of solving these problems for us. But we'll need a lot of help managing our emotions when these big problems happen in life. So now that you have a better idea on how to judge the size of the problems, let's work on how to keep your reactions small, especially when handling those everyday glitch problems. Ever notice that just about when we start to figure out the social rules in life, they change on us, especially when it comes to managing our emotions? Let me give you an example. Say little Bobby goes out for ice cream and drops his ice cream on the ground. Oh no, poor Bobby. Since he doesn't know the rules yet, he may cry in front of everyone. But because he's little, no one thinks it's that big a deal, and more than likely, he'll get another ice cream. But let's say Bobby is 10 years old. Now when he cries after dropping his ice cream, well, the people around him aren't as comfortable with him anymore. That's because they expect him to know that the rule has changed, and he can no longer have a big reaction to a small problem in public. Let's put it this way. Bobby's not getting another ice cream. We can learn to have smaller reactions in public by recognizing those common problems that trigger our emotions in the first place. You know, things that irritate, upset, or worry us and cause those big feelings to happen on the inside. Becoming a detective and figuring out what pokes your bear can be a helpful first step. Like, one of my triggers is when people chew their food really loud. It drives me berserk. Or for you, it might be when someone touches your stuff or keeps blurting out in class. The thing is, as we get older, we're going to have to get really good at handling these everyday problems with smaller reactions. So maybe you're wondering, how do I know what pokes my bear? Well, it can help to recognize how these unsettling situations make us feel on the inside. When I say on the inside, I mean when you can start to sense those emotions forming in your body. Maybe you tighten your shoulders, get clammy hands, turn red, clench your teeth, get a stomachache, a headache, or start to sweat. When you can figure out these emotions and how they show up in your body, it can help us to better prepare for them.
Okay, take a few moments now to fill out your Who Poked My Bear worksheet so you can start to brainstorm what those big feelings might look like when they sneak up on you and what they feel like on the inside. You might even have a group share afterwards so you and your classmates can start to understand each other's triggers and how best not to poke each other's bear. This is a nice way to show empathy and compassion for one another. Okay, my friends, get doing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.